It's Friday, December 31st, 2010, and you're watching This Week in Linux News. There was a lot of big Linux news this week, so let's go ahead and get started. Perhaps the biggest story of this week is that Russian Prime Minister Vladimir Putin has ordered that the Russian government will be moving to Linux and open source software by the year 2015. This goes hand in hand with the recent acceptance of the open document format as the default standard for Russia. And from the plan, it looks like they're going to have a repository for Linux distributions, kind of like an app store, but with Linux distributions, by the second quarter of 2012. Moving right along, there were a lot of Linux distros that had releases this week, but one really stands out, Aptosid version 2010-03. There's not a whole lot of new features to go along with it. I will have a link to where you can look up some more information on it in the source code below though. In addition, some more information has come to light about PC Linux OS 64-bit edition. As we mentioned a couple of weeks ago, PC Linux 2010.12 released just a little while back, so they definitely haven't been sitting back on their laurels this holiday season. However, the 64-bit version has been pushed back just a little bit. They're having some issues getting everything to compile. They're going to have to patch a lot of software to make it work. It is on the way, just not ready yet. Moving right along, we talked a couple of weeks ago about the Humble Indie Bundle 2 that's been released. And in case you'd forgotten, I will be doing a giveaway of the Humble Indie Bundle tonight, December 31st. So look forward to the video about that on my second channel. But anyway, the Humble Indie Bundle 2 drew to a close a little while back, and it turns out it was a huge success, bringing in over 1.8 million US dollars. This was a total of over 230,000 individual sales, and Linux users' average price was $13.76, well above and beyond the other two platforms provided. And it looks like they're going to be working on a Humble Indie Bundle 3. There's a form on the Humble Bundle 2 website that allows you to sign up if you want to be notified when that's ready. Alright, this next story holds a lot of interest for me because it's one of the first stories I ever talked about on this channel. Back in January, we talked about GIMP version 2.8, which was supposed to be coming with the single windowed mode. Well, originally they thought that was going to be pushed out at the beginning of the year, and then it got pushed back to December of this year, and now we're not really sure when that's going to happen. As it turns out, GIMP is only being developed by 2.5 people right now full-time. So of course things do tend to get pushed back when you have very limited resources. If you would like to donate to help support the GIMP project, or if you'd like to help by developing for it, you can find links to how to do that on OMG Ubuntu's website, which I'll have a link to in the source code. Alright, let's wrap things up with some Android news. A few months ago, VLC for iOS-based devices was released. Turns out they are working on VLC for Android at this point. Because VLC is written in C and Android is largely a Java-based platform, there's a lot of extra work that has to be done to make the audio system work correctly. However, like I said, they're working on it and they look forward to having it ready by early 2011. And finally, to close things up, in about another week, CES, the Consumer Electronics Show, is going to be happening in Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, of course, at an event like that, you can expect a ton of new electronics information to be coming out, but the biggest news related to that has to be all of the new Android devices that are slated to be coming out there. Verizon, for example, has hinted on Twitter that there's going to be a bunch of new Android devices, including phones and tablets. In addition, HTC is looking to be the first to provide a 4G device on the Verizon network. The device is being called the HTC Thunderbolt. It's a 4.3-inch phone. The specs are relatively unknown at this point, but we should find out a lot more at CES next week, so I will of course keep you in the loop. There's also information and a little bit of rumors stating that Dell is going to have a 7-inch Streak tablet unveiling at CES. The Motorola tablet that was demoed at the Google event a little while back should be unveiled at CES, and they're planning to call it Zoom XOOM as far as I can tell. HTC is most likely going to have a tablet unveiled, and they're probably going to be calling it Scribe. And the Asus E tabs that we've been hearing about for so long might actually be unveiled there as well. But for links to all of these stories, and even a couple I didn't get a chance to talk about, like the 10-inch Migo Musicians tablet, and the Ubuntu tablet that is supposed to be coming out in China, feel free to check for those links in the source code below. But thank you so much for watching, have a happy and safe new year, and I will talk to you next year.